car is a Ferrari Dino 246 GTS. The S means that the roof comes off. It's a Targa top, which is really nice on a sunny day. The naming of the Dino is Enzo Ferrari's son, who tragically died through illness, and Enzo created the Dino really to commemorate him. Great fun to drive, very much the old style of driving, lots of feedback. Anybody that's ever driven an old Mini knows that feeling of feeling the bumps in the road, etc. It's very much like that, but it's like a Super Mini. Holds the road really well, great fun to drive. My family has always been keen on driving. Both my mother and father were go-kart racers, and they did rallying as well. Very successful in the Malaya rally in the 60s. So we've always had sporty cars, typically things like Triumphs, early TRs, those sorts of things. So it's sort of in my blood, appreciation of cars. In terms of a Dino, why a Dino? My auntie had a boyfriend in Herne Bay in Kent of all places, and he ran a restoring old cars garage called Thurston's. And when I was 14 years old, I visited my auntie, and he took me for a quick spin in a blue Ferrari Dino that belonged to a racing driver at the time called Jackie Ickx. He was very famous in the 70s, and I could not believe how much fun that was, and that sort of stayed in my memory. And it was obviously only years later that I had the opportunity of actually owning one. And I was looking for something that wouldn't depreciate in value. Just all it had to do was hold its value. But at the time there was a dip in the car market prices, and I was lucky to be able to get a Dino. When you sit in it, the smell of the old leather, the sound of the engine just behind you is great fun. I much prefer it with the roof off, so typically I don't go out in the rain much. With the roof off, you have all that open sky above you, and I love, it's not necessarily the going fast, it's the smooth driving you can get on empty roads where you can get a really nice rhythm going. And I don't plan to get rid of it anytime soon.
This is an Armstrong Siddeley Star Sapphire it was made in 1959 in Coventry, and it's got a 4-litre straight 6 engine, so it's pretty big, and it's about 2 tonne. But it's not untypical of cars of that era. In the 1950s, cars of this size they weren't run of the mill. This was a sort of top end sort of car, but there were quite a few of them around. Jaguar Mark 9s, Bentleys, Daimlers, that sort of thing. It was my dad's before I got it, and he died in 1994. Then it passed to me. And so I've had it for nearly 20 years, but I haven't done a very big mileage in it. It's had a lot of work done to it, so it's much better condition than it was 20 odd years ago. It'd been knocked around a bit, and it's had to have a lot done to it. Welding, painting, chroming. The wood in here has been re-lacquered, repolished, so it's had things like that done to it. And it's quite low mileage, so it's in fairly good condition. This car, well, you can see that the interior is fairly spectacular. I don't know if this is going to pick it up on the camera, but it's full of very highly polished walnut. The seats are very, very luxurious. It's very well appointed. It's a lovely car to drive because it's got a great long bonnet with the Sphinx, which was the symbol of Armstrong Siddeley's, on the end of the bonnet. and it's actually a very easy car to drive. It's got, despite its appearance and despite its year, 1959, technologically it was very advanced. It's got power steering, it's got an automatic gearbox, it's got disc brakes, so it stops quickly, it's safe. It looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. So it's a smashing car to drive. Around here it's quite easy. There are lots of easy roads to drive this on, you know, where you're not going to get masses of traffic. But in London, it's not really suited to modern traffic. It's quick enough to keep up with modern traffic, by the way. I mean, I've not that long ago I drove it to Leeds and back, so it'll do it, but it's not that comfortable driving it in London streets where you get very, very heavy traffic, nose to tail. So I don't take it out that often.
Hi, my name's Peter Osborn. I'm the owner of this 1954 AEC London bus, which is painted green because in those days London Transport ran green buses in the country around London as well as the red buses in London. I bought it 5 years ago as a wreck, and we've spent the last 5 years rebuilding it completely from scratch. So what you see is almost new. The bus is actually 60 years old next year. This is a bus that I knew when I was a teenager. It worked from Leatherhead Garage in Surrey at that time when I was going to school, and this was my favourite bus. So 5 years ago when I found that it was available to buy, there was no question.
Everybody has a summer holiday, doing things they always wanted to. So we're going on a summer holiday to make our dreams come true. For me and you.
It has 56 seats, so we have had up to 56 people on it. Today's a fairly quiet day. Maybe 15 people on most trips, something like that, which of course gives people a bit of space to spread out. This bus was in quite a state when we found it, with a lot of parts missing, but because there were so many built, there were nearly 7,000 of these buses working in London, the biggest bus fleet in the world. There were a lot of parts tucked away by people when they were taken out of service. So around the country in various garages and sheds there are bits and pieces to be had. So I collected over years, I collected all the bits we needed.
We're all going on a summer holiday, no more working for a week or two. Fun and laughter on our summer holiday, no more worries for me or you, for a week or two.
He lives on a farm. Buses are difficult things to keep because they're so big.
Yeah.
So it lives in a barn. What we enjoy about having buses, Steve, my conductor, and I, is being able to run them, give people rides on them. That's what they were built for. For us, having a nice day out, finding a way of carrying people about. So today we're doing that for the Bluebell Railway. It's been so thoroughly restored that, like the steam engines on the Bluebell, it will probably run forever. I probably won't be in any state to miss it once I leave it. I think I've got it for life.
We're all going on a summer holiday, no more working for a week or two. Fun and laughter on our summer holiday, no more worries for me or you, for a week or two. We're going where the sun shines brightly, we're going where the sea is blue. We've seen it in the movies, now let's see if it's true. Everybody has a summer holiday, doing things they always wanted to. So we're going on a summer holiday to make our dreams come true. For me and you. week or two. Fun and laughter on our summer holiday. No more worries for me or you for a week or two. We're going where the sun shines brightly. We're going where the sea is blue. We've seen it in the movies. Now let's see if it's true. Everybody has a summer holiday, doing things they always wanted to.